Before we begin this segment, I'd like to ask a favor of you. This is called On Our Spiritual Journey. And so far I've done all the talking. But I really would like to hear about your spiritual journey, your growth, opportunities you've had to look at yourself and to grow spiritually. And the way I'd like to suggest you do that, if you would, is just send me an email at jamesfmcmichael@gmail.com. jamesfmcmichael@gmail.com. If you do that, then I'll be glad to share them, either giving you recognition or making them anonymous, whichever you prefer. Now, to today's topic. I want to talk about openness. I don't think there's anything that I have learned more in this spiritual journey than the necessity to be open to nearly anything and everything that comes to me. And I can't stress that enough, because to me, God, universe, spirit, whatever, really does communicate in many ways, in those mysterious thoughts that just appear in my mind, but in things that people say, books that I read, just everything just pops up. Today, for instance, I was wrestling with a problem here. I'm on our homeowners board, and it was a really tough issue for me because I was very angry and I wanted to fire back at some of these people that had been hurting another really good board member of ours. I've learned to just pause and be quiet and ask for guidance. And when I did that, then I began to understand where they were coming from. Even though I don't accept their behavior, I could understand their thinking. It helped me develop an alternative to reacting in anger, and to react instead in a peaceful, calm manner. So I just can't stress enough. And that all came from readings. The Word Among Us, a couple of Harriet's book on Miracles of Recovery. It just came from a number of different places. And so openness to me is just continually being open to God's messages to me. But I guess I also need to say that it's a tricky area, because there's two parts of all of us, of me for sure. And that is the good part, which I hope is tied in with God, my higher power, the Holy Spirit. But there's also another part of me that maybe listens to the other side, the not so good side. And I guess I have to learn to discern between those things that come to me that are selfish, self-centered, seeking only pleasure for me. I'm not trying to become a Puritan here or anything, but the fact is that I have to learn that not all thoughts are really holy thoughts. They're not all spiritual thoughts. So this whole question of being open is just a matter of being open and discerning, open and reflecting. And to me, I read, one of my readings today was about maturity and about emotional maturity, about learning to reflect rather than to react, and just to sit still, be quiet, take this calm, quiet time, and to reflect on what it is that's coming to you, what it is that you're thinking about, actions you're proposing to take. And there's a saying that we've got in the program that's called, "We pause when agitated or doubtful and ask for the right thought or action." I think that's wonderful advice. And so I try to make it a practice today to be open, to pause, to wait, to listen, to observe, and then after reflecting meditatively on those areas, that input that I get, to then take appropriate action, but not just to react, which is what I've generally done with the Irish temper of mine, is just react, and it does not work very well, I can tell you that. So I hope this is helpful to you to look at yourself. You know, it's we can't go around being closed to people, being closed to God, being closed to everything else, staying all wrapped up in our own little cocoons. C.S. Lewis talks about that, about being wrapped up like a corpse, you know, and then he compares it to being like in a coffin. We can't do that. We have to be open. And sometimes we get hurt. Sometimes we make mistakes. That's the way it goes. In the long run, we get so much more benefit than we do difficulty. So that's about openness. That's what I have found in my life. It really helps me to be open to people, places, and things, to not be judgmental, to be calm, be quiet, listen, and I will learn. I hope this is helpful to you. It certainly has been helpful to me. I hope you have a great day and talk to you later. And please don't forget, get in touch with me if you'd like to share some of your own spiritual journey. Thank you.